Welcome to Jim and Sherry Bristol's farm. We farm here in West Branch, Michigan with the help of our daughters Bridget and Elaine. We raise forages and produce lambs for a meat market, and we're proud to do that. We've got a rich family history of agriculture. We've produced food for America and the world for a little over 350 years here in the United States, and probably over 150 years here in Michigan. Here we are on the back corner of the farm, and this area here is very sparsely covered with forage, and it's been that way for decades or over a century. Except for this little corner of the farm, we've reseeded all the open ground here on the farm now, and we've improved it. We've got more covering, so there's very little dirt showing on where we've reseeded. We'll look around the farm here and we'll show you how the forage has changed from this sparse area to where we've reseeded. Forage is a good way to protect the soil here on this farm. It's kind of got a sandy soil and it's erodible, and so we try and keep all of our land into forage. The only time we work it up is to reseed it back into forage. We either harvest with machines to harvest hay and sell the hay crop, or we also use sheep to produce lambs for the meat market. We want to have a balance here between our livestock, our open land, and wildlife. While a balance is never perfect, it is one of our priorities. Yeah, on this farm we utilize a lot of USDA programs called EQIP, which is environmental quality insurance programs. And the three main programs we use are cross fencing for controlled livestock of their grazing, for controlled grazing, intensive grazing management. So we put in a lot of cross fences on this farm. In this area here we have 4 ponds, and I want to limit the access of livestock to those water areas. So we're fencing the area out. During different times of the year we will let the livestock in to graze around the ponds, but I don't want to have full access to those water areas. We also use cross fencing to control the flow of livestock. Some of our fields are hay fields that we graze, and the larger the field, the more wandering the livestock do. They walk back and forth and they create paths, and we want to limit the path creation. So we make the fields smaller, and that way the livestock will graze that area for say 1 or 2 days. They'll mow it right down, and then we move them out of there, and we give that area a rest period of about 30 days. The other programs we use here are frost seeding, which we did in March, and we use a lot of different grasses and legumes, but the main ones we use are Italian ryegrass and Alice white clover. Those two forages have worked the best in our frost seedings on our farms. We've done some forage trials here, and those two species came out ahead, so we use a lot of Italian ryegrass and Alice white clover. The other program we'll be doing this summer is we're drilling a new well for the livestock, and we're going to run some water lines to different areas of the farm so the livestock don't have to travel as far for water. We'll be able to utilize those water areas and water systems 12 months of the year. So that'll help with the livestock's traffic flow. Our family believes it's very strongly in protecting the environment, and while we may own the land, we only get to use it while we're here. So we have to protect that land from environmental damage. Our family believes in it, and the taxpayers and the citizens of the United States believe in it, and I believe most all farmers believe in protecting the environment. So through the USDA funds, which are taxpayer based, the U.S. citizens and our farm are partners in this these EQIP programs and utilizing these funds to protect the environment. We enjoy raising sheep on this farm because we believe in the product, the lamb and the wool, and the sheep on this farm have enriched the soil and not damaged the land in any way, and with proper grazing techniques we expect that to continue.